The proper function of man. The proper function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days in trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. Jack London, quote at the end of No Time to Die. On Thursday, February 20th, 2025, James Bond fans finally got an update of news on the status of the future of the James Bond franchise. We all knew since the end of No Time to Die and in 2022 with Amazon acquiring it, and after 2022 we still had a little bit of Barbara Broccoli and Michael G. Wilson somewhat involved, but as of Thursday, February 20th, 2025, those traditional producers of the series have officially dropped out for the most part, and Amazon will have creative intentions, creative abilities for the future of James Bond. Now, listen, James Bond, Amazon. Okay, what we don't like about this, or what a lot of people don't like about this, is that Amazon has stated that they want to make it more like content, kind of similar to online content. It's kind of like a streaming thing. They did say, I think, that there would still be a theatrical window of theatrical release coming out, it should always be theatrical when it comes to James Bond. But as far as what has happened so far, Daniel Craig was alright as James Bond, but in my opinion, he really only had 2 out of 5 great movies. I really liked Casino Royale, and I thought Skyfall was really well done as well, but a little bit lower than Casino. But then those other 3 movies, Quantum of Solace, Spectre, and No Time to Die, those 3 could have been a thing that could have worked better with what that was. I really like Pierce Brosnan as James Bond. I think it's a damn shame that a big sin that Pierce Brosnan never had a 5th appearance as James Bond after 2002's Die Another Day. That's a really lost opportunity. But as far as the news from Thursday, February 20th, 2025, with Amazon, basically has full complete creative control at this point in regards to James Bond. Hopefully that means that by the end of this year or beginning of next year, we'll have an idea on who's directing it and who's especially going to be cast as the 7th official James Bond. But all in all, the way how they decided to end the 25th movie in 2021, the way that was decided with Daniel Craig and Broccoli was not well for a lot of fans. Now, I don't really have a whole lot of trust in Amazon. I like that you can buy a lot of variety of a whole lot of different things, items of all kinds, in many different kinds of things that you could get right off of Amazon as far as buying wise. But when it comes to something like James Bond, I don't know if they're the right producer or distributor or creator of that sort of thing. I just recently watched Film Speak. I don't know if you know Film Speak on YT. I just recently watched Film Speak's 30-some minute thing about February 20th news about this, and I have to say I agree a lot with what he said. And he also said stuff about Mission Impossible 2 years ago with that Dead Reckoning. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see what he and other people say about Mission Impossible when that comes back in a few months. Which reminds me, speaking of which, of all the different film projects that are coming out between now and let's say the end of 2027, The end of 2027, hopefully being the Batman Part 2, which is not going to be the official title. I think they might change the title for that. With the exception of maybe the Batman Part 2 at the end of 2027, which I hope they get right with Batman as well, but that's a whole other story. The only really movie I'm really highly anticipating is May 2025's Mission Impossible 8, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning. That's going to be my top movie the whole year to watch out for. Other than that, I think I might want to see The Accountant 2. I might give you a review of The Accountant 2 come in May. It comes out at the end of April if I decide to go see that. But there will be no doubt my butt will be in the seat for as soon as Mission Impossible 8, The Final Reckoning comes out in May. I can't wait to see that. That is the most anticipated thing I want to see the whole year. And then there's not really a whole lot of movies outside of those two that I'm really that into, to be honest. But James Bond and Amazon. What do you guys think about this? In the comment section down below, tell me your thoughts and opinions on the future of James Bond. Do you think Amazon is going to mess up? Do you think it's going to be somewhat okay? Or do you think that they should have kept Broccoli involved, even though she really wanted to step down, and you could see they didn't have their heart in it anymore? You see, Daniel Craig, he never really had... To me, he didn't have the heart in it, because it seems like he's similar in Sean Connery, where they couldn't wait to get out of the role, out of the part. That is any guy's dream casting, to be wanting a part of something like that. I really don't know how long this is running for. I'm just trying to. I know I'm a little bit all over the place with this. I'm just trying to get it all here as much as possible with this. I would say I'm cautiously, either cautiously optimistic, but really more so cautiously pessimistic about what Amazon's gonna do with this. I think this very well could be the nail in the coffin that really kills the series, as if the last movie or two didn't do that. I hope to get, if I can find any other guys in person that I know or can get to know, to want to discuss about possibly GoldenEye's 30th anniversary this year and Spectre's 10th anniversary. And I don't really care for A View to a Kill, which came out the year I was born, so I don't really have much to say about that one. But maybe a talk about Thunderball. So yeah, Thunderball 1965 for its 60th anniversary, GoldenEye for its 30th anniversary, and Spectre for its 10th. I'd like to get those discussions going. I think those would be cool things for people to watch in regards to what I could put out for people. But in regards to Amazon, I don't know if... I don't think... I think they might really mess this up for a lot of people. And it's just a shame that so many... film franchises in the 2020s, the 21st century of the 2020s, have so much disrespect from the people behind it and not a care for how it goes. And I think we need better management of how movies get put out by people like us and not whatever they're doing. It could go really bad, and a lot of people are upset about this, or shocked, or whatever the case may be. But at this point, hopefully I got the main talking point, bullet point details in regards to all this for now. I just wanted to get this out for you guys, since the last time I had James Bond stuff was back in June of 2024, which I put out. Yeah, in June of 2024, I put up some James Bond stuff out for you guys, and I know you guys like the GoldenEye one the best, because the GoldenEye one is still showing up in the viewings of the watch of my archives. So thank you for whoever's discovering the GoldenEye one that I did. But this can't. As I opened it with that quote from the end of this movie, I'm gonna have to start concluding this one with a little song I like from the James Bond series, and then my traditional wrapping up lines that I do. So with that said, let's wrap it up with this little song. I've been here before, but always hit the floor. I've spent a lifetime running and I always get away. But with you I'm feeling something that makes me wanna stay. I'm prepared for this. I never shoot to miss. But I feel like a storm is coming. If I'm gonna make it through the day, then there's no more use in running. This is something I gotta face. If I risk it all, could you break my fall? How do I live? How do I breathe? When you're not here, I'm suffocating. I wanna feel love run through my blood. Tell me, is this where I give it all up? For you, I have to risk it all. 'Cause the writing's on the wall. A million shards of glass that haunt me from my past as the stars begin to gather and the light begins to fade. When all hope begins to shatter, know that I won't be afraid. If I risk it all, could you break my fall? How do I live? How do I breathe? When you're not here, I'm suffocating. I wanna feel love run through my blood. Tell me, is this where I give it all up? For you, I have to risk it all. 'Cause the writing's on the wall. The writing's on the wall. How do I live? How do I breathe? When you're not here, I'm suffocating. I wanna feel love run through my blood. Tell me, is this where I give it all up? How do I live? How do I breathe? When you're not here, I'm suffocating. I wanna feel love run through my blood. Tell me, is this where I give it all up? For you, I have to risk it all. 'Cause the writing's on the wall. Amazon, in full, complete creative control of this now. Is this bad? Is it neutral? Is it going to be terrific? Is it going to be fantastic and huge? Or is James Bond dead? Or is there somewhere in the middle moderate? What do you think about all this? Comment down below. This is first James Bond thing since June of 2024. So I hope you guys enjoyed this if you made it this far, and support your local movie theater throughout the decade of the 2030s on the big silver screen to enjoy with a whole bunch of strangers for a community experience like no other. Why? Because streaming on Amazon is just not the same thing as the movie screen on AMC Movies. That's it. That's all I got for you for this, and we'll see you in the next videos, and we'll see you at the movies. And everybody dance and have a good time. This is Millennial Man Motions Entertainment, LLC, signing out. Dun 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 dun. James Bond will return in Bond 26.